Hopefully you all can hear me very well because I've asked if I could mute the TV, not turn the music down, but they have the TV blasting and the music blasting. Pick a struggle, but whatever. I am Audra Nicole, reporting to you from New Orleans, Louisiana. So this is a part of my Ask Me series, so y'all can get to know me. My life is filled with a bunch of stuff, so I'm breaking it up into different parts. Sorry it's so dark. They have mood lighting today. Let me see if I can add. Okay. There we go, some light. Can't make it out of nothing. So, today is my cancer story. How I get cancer. So, let's start with, where can I start? So, I like to start with, I was in this workout program and I had just lost like 60 pounds. Yay me. So I go to the doctor. I guess because everybody putting everything on the internet, it's okay. I had a discharge coming from my nipple on my breast. Discharge, if you guys don't know, like blood, basically. So, yeah, you're like, why didn't you do anything? I did. I went to the doctor and I said, there's a discharge coming from my breast. And she was like, yeah, we need to get that checked out, but it ain't that serious. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm a singer, and at the time I was touring. So I had been asked to go to Italy. And so, of course, me being the traveler that I am, I didn't want to miss that. So I packed my bags, went to Italy. The discharge was still there. So I said, this is weird. And if you know anything about me, one of my requirements for hotels is the sheets have to be white, the sheets and the comforters. Because if they're not, they don't have to be responsible for washing them. Think about it. So I kept seeing these streaks in my sheet. Didn't see it so much in Italy, but I would see the discharge come up. So I went to Italy, came home. That was for like 2 months. I came home. And so I didn't even rush back to the doctor. So at my house, as much as I would love to do white, I think white is a beautiful color. Or not a color, but white is a beautiful color. I can't really do it. It reveals too much. So my alternative for white is really light gray. I have a lot of light gray things. Gray and cream. So now this is when I really started seeing, I would wash my sheets and I kept seeing these streaks in the sheet, these red streaks. And I said, let me see what's going on. And I actually took my breast and pressed down on it and the blood came out. And I was like, oh, whoa. And this is from someone who has never had kids, so I've never had to expose that to anything, so I wasn't really familiar with that. It wasn't milk. So I finally went to the doctor and said, yeah, you know why I'm here? Because I'm tired of my sheets getting messed up. What's going on? So she sends me to get a mammogram. Technically, this should have been my checkup mammogram, but they said, okay, ma'am, you're going to have to pay $600 every time you have this, every time you get a test. So depending on how many times they test you, it'll be $600. Okay. Y'all, for the sake of my sheets, let's go. So they do the mammogram. They did one. Okay. She kept repositioning me. And then she took the stuff back to the doctor. Or whoever it is. And then she comes back. Let me do another one. Okay. Now this second one hurts. If you've ever had a mammogram, they all hurt. But this one, it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter because they squeeze your boobs trying to get pictures of every angle. And they were like, the more still you are and the more you let us squeeze, the better result. Baby, go on and squeeze because I need this $600 not to keep racking up. She goes back, come back, I need to do another one. I said, hold on. This is number 3. I don't have no money for this. $600 a pop? No. So, since I can't do my 600, I'm like, no. I need y'all to tell me what y'all doing. What are y'all doing? She goes back and the doctor's like, I want to see another angle. Ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. Y'all know I like saying that. No, man, Pam. No. We on like test number 5. I don't have the money for this. Y'all need to tell me something. So actually, I made them stop I don't know if I made them stop testing. She had to conclude her results from that one because I was like on number 5. They take me into another room and they said, now apparently from what I understand, the doctor talking to me like this was actually out of protocol. He wasn't supposed to do this. He came in and said, out of all the years I've been working in cancer, in this field, I know what cancer looks like. Pretty sure you got cancer. I'm sitting there like I really was like that. Because see, when you get cancer and you get that news, that day is like, you remember it every time. And you can talk to any cancer patient, and that day they remember. And you see, I went into a zone. I literally was like, and they were so, and apparently this is what I've been told too, that they're taught not to basically not to give a care. He said that stuff and left. He was like, yeah, all my years of cancer, no, you got cancer. All right, we'll recommend you to some doctors, and left. And so I had to go in the restroom and clean up and stuff. And I'm sitting in the mirror like, I didn't believe it. I was like, So I go out to pay. I go out to the counter, and the lady is talking, yapping at me. I was like, you work here. You know how people feel sometimes when they come out of here, and you see that bill. So she's sitting here trying to have small talk with me. Ma'am, if you don't charge this car so I can get the hell up out of here. I mean, she was really holding me hostage. And when I tell y'all, I was fighting the tears, fighting. They were welling up in my eyes like I know she saw them. I couldn't even hold them in. And while I was standing there, I think one dropped because they were just sitting there waiting to fall. So when she finally released me, after 5-6 minutes, and y'all, when you trying to hold that kind of information in, 5 or 6 minutes is a long time. So I go to my car. I sit there again in disbelief. So I called my mom and said, Mom, they say I have cancer. And so that was the point when I was able to holler crying. I hate doing that stuff to my mom because my mom, when it comes to her kids or anybody she loves, that's hard information to take in for her, but we still throw it at her. And I would admit that's kind of not fair, but who else was I going to tell? I needed somebody who's going to pick up the phone fast and who's going to sympathize with me. Now, she has a different way of sympathizing. She doesn't cry, she doesn't, she just kind of sits there, but I can feel her understanding and her compassion. Other people would be like, well, yeah, I needed that. So after I go home and think about it, okay, y'all, when you go through cancer, they treat it like it's a doctor's appointment. They'll get you in when they can get you in because they say, well, we can get you in 2 weeks. Is it not urgent? Okay. So we'll have you come in and take some tests. And of course, you got to take 1 million tests. Okay, so I take some tests. Went to that doctor's appointment. Okay, in a month we'll call you to schedule you for so and so. A month? So after the 2 weeks, after that, in about a week, we'll tell you the results. Y'all gonna make me sit for a week to figure this out? So I got to sit every day and figure. So I finally have my meeting. Of course, I'm always very impressed when a woman doctor can be stern and not compassionate and about the business. So this girl, this lady, this doctor, she was good at it. All right, well, you got stage 3. This is what, and me and my mom are sitting here like, okay, so this, so what about this? So when do we do this? So what do we, and she's just like, can y'all hurry up, or y'all, did you ask all the questions? No, I didn't ask all the questions, but I guess we'll go. So we did that. Then you have to go to a plastic surgeon because you have to make the choice of, are you going to get rid of the breast, get rid of one of the breasts? Her suggestion was at least get rid of one because it was a lot in one. And it wasn't in my lymph nodes, which is what you don't want. So we need to get it out. Okay. So then I start asking my family, because then before that they make you do the BRCA gene test to see if cancer runs in your family. Obviously, yes, I have had aunts down the line get it. So in doing, we found out I got the BRCA gene, and so off to the races. So after taking that test, we figure all that out. I just went a little blank. I went to the plastic surgeon. So, I started researching. So let's talk about this. You silent people, y'all wrong. You wrong. My whole family, not my whole family, but a lot of people in my family had it. I had to literally chase people down and ask them, why did so-and-so die of cancer? Why did this? Why did that? What happened? Do you all know everybody in my family had the exact same story? It was in one breast. They took the one breast out, but it traveled to the other. That's exactly what I had. It was in one breast, and she was like, yeah, it's at a place where it'll be en route to the other breast. Why do y'all not say anything to anybody? As soon as y'all found out I had cancer, I just kept calling them, asking them questions, but they were never outward about the diagnoses. So after I asked all these questions, that helped me make the decision. Take them both. And it was fun. It's funny, not funny. When I was younger, I used to hate my breasts because I had big breasts, bigger than what I already have. And I used to always say, boy, if I ever got cancer, if I ever had the opportunity, take them. I'm not even going to let them finish the sentence. I kind of let her finish the sentence, and I kind of did that. I already knew in my head, take the breast. But then they came out with something called a Diop flap. They'll take the fat from somewhere else in your body, which I had plenty, and put it in your breast. So I got my fupa taken away and put in my breast. But unfortunately, now my breasts look like my fupa. I love my plastic surgeon. My plastic surgeon was amazing. And bedside manner, he had that on lock. I was like, why can the men do it and the women can't? But now my oncologist, he is so mean, and that's the one that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. So anyway, I did that, met with the plastic surgeon, had the surgery all at the same time. It was an 8-hour surgery. Got the fat taken out my tummy, put in my breast. I had a lot of complications. Well, not a lot. And those of you who sing, if you sing going to the back, I do it every surgery. They always say, oh, we need to take care of her vocal cords. So when they stick the thing down your throat, they'll take care of you. Every time they've said, you were singing on the way back. So we knew we needed to take care of your vocal cords. Thank you. So I had all the surgeries. Let's see, I had the removing the cancer and the DF flap at the same time, 8 hours. I ended up developing my body was healing so fast. I was developing a hole in my breast, so I had to get a vacuum cleaner put in and had to wear that for a while. My scars and everything healed up really great. Now I'm on the vitamin E journey. Those who know. What else? So then I got a tattooed nipple because they couldn't save my nipples. So I have that's tattooed on. Wish I could show you, but I'll probably be banned. So give me a minute before I want to get banned. So I was teaching. Let's talk about what I was doing when all this happened. I was teaching at the place where I quit. And I will say my students and parents came through. They rallied together, helped me with my bills, gave me 1,000,000 blankets, but they were the flyest blankets I've ever had. They gave me air filters. Y'all, they were the best. I'm not going to cap on that. That was amazing. So my parents came through in the clutch. And then the faculty, they came through, they helped. So I was out of work for a little bit. I did end up coming back. I did do a few concerts, cancer concerts, and I'm still able to do those, still around to do those, but I did do some special concerts. And one of my concerts were called Being Selfish for Life. Because most people that get cancer do everything for everybody. And that one moment in my life taught me, calm down, let people help you. So I let people help me. That was probably one of the few times I bowed down and said, okay, I can't do this on my own. And I kind of feel like that's how I got it in the first place. That was God saying, I need to teach you a lesson, or allowed it to happen. Like, you need to learn a lesson of patience, peace, taking care of yourself, because I know what that looked like. So I did that. I was taken care of. And the journey continues, because you have to do stuff like taking bone density tests. That almost hurt worse than the chemo. Oh, what I was going to say, I actually had, this happened to me during COVID. So 2020, time has flown. It happened during COVID. That kind of helped me, because I was able to stay at home and teach and rest when I had chemo. Because if you know anybody who's had chemo, it drains the life out of you. So that worked out, and my students understood. I would say, look, y'all, here's your assignment. Let me know what you need. I got to rest. Or sometimes I would have class in the chemo chair. But what was hard about that, nobody could come with me to chemo. Which actually was probably okay, because why should somebody sit there with me? Well, one, because they love me, but yeah, that's still hard. So this is 4 or 5 years later. Y'all forgive me. I don't know all the information. I did have an estrogen-driven cancer, so which I probably should have known, because my estrogen levels were always crazy. I'm going to tell y'all something kind of funny. The reason when I was dating, I knew guys to hang out, like to keep around, because they would last through my menstrual cycle. Ooh, because cancer is when I figured out it was a cycle. It goes in the first week right after my cycle, I would be fine. That's the only week I would be fine. The second week, I would start kind of not feeling well. The third week, I would crave sugar. When I tell y'all, like, I would eat sugar date, and I mean like sit down and eat a whole cake, make whole banana puddings and eat them. That was that was my life. Like I literally the third week, and then the week of the cycle, I was down and mean AF, y'all. Like if I had a boyfriend, I would break up with him that week. Like every time, every time. It took my now husband. He figured it out. He would be like, okay, you're going through something. Let me hang up. He didn't know it was my menstrual cycle, but he would not talk to me that week. And then it'd be okay to, when it was over and it was a cycle. Duh. That's why it's called a menstrual cycle. But yeah, it took that for me to realize that my body was just going through changes. And so now that, well, there's a little bitty tiny bit left in me because they couldn't get it. It's too far back there, and it's kind of by a lymph node. So I am going to the doctor. They're checking the marker every once in a while. But I had to get a full hysterectomy. After I had that, of course I don't have a cycle anymore, but I actually don't have mood swings that bad anymore. I'm a little better. And I got obsessive. I became obsessed with peace. That's where the quitting my job came from. Like I was like, no, nobody's gonna make me do anything. Nobody's gonna be mean to me. Like I'm gonna be in charge of my own destiny. Nobody gets to tell me how to do that. So that's what it is. Why quit my job and had a cancer. The cancer made me just think about what is important. What's important? What we think is important ain't always important. And then what's not, what we think is not important is important, like peace. So that's pretty much my cancer journey. I'm thriving. I am trying to get this weight back off. I've done everything, all kind of programs, but a lot of it is just mental. I just need to be about that. I'm very inconsistent, and with this newfound peace, I'm even more inconsistent because it's like I get to do what I want when I want. No, you just have to prioritize and put in order what you need to do, and then you need to be about doing it. So I'm actually getting better at scheduling and doing things, but and this content life ain't helping. Well, actually it is, but it's making it hard, and it's making me have to be structured. But yeah, y'all, it's real out here in these streets. I thank God every day. I wake up and say, thank God. I thank God. I do thank God that He allowed me to be able to talk to y'all, because I have so many friends that didn't make it. Every year I have a friend that won the battle in heaven. They stopped the fight here and continued their battle and won the battle to make it to heaven. I will say, because the way the world is going, I'm like, they got the prize. They won. Not saying I want to die today, but it's hard down here. But nevertheless, with that saying, thank y'all for indulging me. That's another Ask Audra. Watch my other stuff on my channel. Y'all, please, if you don't do nothing else, subscribe, like, click, and share. All right, let's start from the bottom. Here got an ADHD jumping in. Copy, save, comment, like. That's all you gotta do. You've watched this far, might as well. All right, y'all. Take care of yourself. Love you. And remember, it's your song to sing, so sing it. Bye.